Go! That's right. Find out everything you want to know at the Headley Group Real Estate Show. Tune in for all the hotness. When it come to real estate, we cover all topics. First time home buyers selling your property. Want to build an empire? Real life monopoly. We talk duplexes, triplexes, multifamily units, and commercial investments. We got you. The Headley Group got you. You can own whatever you want. Who gonna stop you? We got you. The Headley Group got you. Here's your host, Mike Headley. Hey, how y'all doing? This is Mike Headley coming back live on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. As we always promised that we always would have a great guest who is very insightful in real estate and other things. This show we're dealing with, when we're talking about having different streams of income where we just not only focus on one. So you can do real estate, you can do a host of other things. Before I got this brother here on the screen here, but before I really kind of announce him, I really got to go down the accolades. I mean, it's taking up so many pages here. This brother has been in the business for 27 years, running a real estate brokerage. He deals with buying, flipping, and do rentals as well. He has a construction company in the Charlotte, North Carolina area. That's where the real estate office is at as well. He has all the certifications that you need. Minority owned. This brother here, knowledge is just in the real estate space, and then the other stream of income, which I will not announce yet. I'll have him do that. But let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Gregory Faulcon. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh man, listen, man. You know he's also a good friend of mine as well, right up the street from me, here in the Carolinas. Gregory, I went down this catalog that you got here. You're very extensive, brother, in the industry in terms of real estate, because you know our show is real estate related. But we speak on entrepreneurship. We feel that that's so important because you got many talents. But before we open up that other stream of income that you have and the others, I want to focus on real estate. Tell us how you got in real estate and what's that driving factor that keeps you pushing every day.
Well, it was basically I stumbled into the real estate business. When I was in college, my mom was losing her house and she needed some help saving her house. And I came home to try and help her with a house, and that's what got the real estate bug going. I ended up saving the house from foreclosure, did some research, and I decided to go to real estate school, and that's how everything really got started.
Real estate school. So you took that kind of, I guess, was it like a big motivation to kind of do better, or like what was that? What was that motivation that kind of got you going?
Yeah, well, after I came home, did some research, I didn't like that the lender had really taken advantage of my mom. This was in 1992, 91, somewhere along there. She was paying 21% interest
Wow. On a
on a house.
residential home?
Huh?
On a residential mortgage?
Residential property in Charlotte. And I was like, 21%? That doesn't sound
It's a
right.
credit card payment.
Yeah, it was credit card payments back
Correct.
then. So I started doing the research and looking up stuff and what a decent interest rate was. And I spent some time in the bank talking to the bank tellers and banking manager, and they gave me some great ideas on what I needed to do. So at that time, my mom said, I'm about to lose the house. She said, I'll just sign it over and give it to you and see if you can't keep it and save it.
Okay.
And that's how I got the real estate bug. I saved the house, I refinanced it, and that's how everything got started right there.
Wow. If I mean, it's so many good golden nuggets in there. Walk me through the process, because we got down here that you've done flipping as well as you've done some rental properties. Did that open up an area for you to start the investment side of it?
Well, yeah, at that time when I came home from college, of course, I saved my mom's house. So I took a little part-time job working at a trucking company.
Okay.
And the guys at the trucking company was like, hey, man, I'm going to real estate school. You want to go? I said, man, I just got my mom out of this foreclosure. I'm interested. I said, but man, I'm in school full time. I don't have much time. He says, it's only a couple of months. I said, okay, I can do a couple of months.
Okay.
So I decided to go to real estate school and get my real estate license. Then after I got my license, after doing the homework on my mom's house, I found
Mhm.
out about investing, real
Mm.
flipping, and I happened to meet a great guy at a house auction by the name of Jay Parker.
Okay.
And he took me on his wing. I was 21, 22 years old. I didn't know much. I was just reading. And he kind of showed me the ropes to get me started.
Mm. Mm. Wow. As that, so once he kind of got you started, did you go straight into the rental part or the flipping part or?
I started out flipping. So I
Okay.
started out flipping. It's a long story. I didn't have enough money. So after I refinanced my mom and the ladies at the bank showed me how to do a line of credit on the house,
Mm. Mm.
I had about $25,000 in a line of credit. There was value in her home in that time. And I researched, learned how to do lines of credit. So I ended up buying a house, my first house for 25,000, and I put all the fix up on my credit card. I
Oh
spent another
wow.
20,000 doing all the repairs on my credit card, which was 45,000. I ended up selling the house for right around 72,000, and I made about $27,000. And I put that money back up, paid the line of credit back off, and I did it again. And then I
Okay.
kept doing it.
Well, see. Now I got to stop you there because you just gave us a golden nugget, which I think a lot of investors, when they get into the business, they a little leery of. You said you got you a credit card and you kind of stretched that thing out, right?
Maxed it
Max it
out.
out, right?
Max it out,
With the
right?
objective of, hey, you know something? I'm gonna make a flip, right? And make a flip and make a
Right.
return. And my point in saying that
Right.
is that I kind of live by this motto, and I try to tell future investors: scared money don't make no
Don't make
money,
no money.
right? I ain't even have to say scared money don't make no money. So he took the chance, and once you made that flip, did it spiral from there?
Oh yeah, the money I was making,
Mm.
man, that was $27,000 at one flip. I was like, okay, let me try and do this again.
Okay.
And I did it again. I took that money, then I paid everything off. Now I had more money to get a bigger flip and do more than one at a time.
Mm.
I
Mm.
grew up in construction. My dad was a
Okay.
brick. I had been around construction, kind of, working around the houses and doing little stuff like that.
Mm.
I had to learn how to hang drywall, install toilets, hang
Mm.
floors. I did a lot of the work myself to save money because I didn't have enough to pay people when I first started out. I got guys to help me on the major things that I couldn't do, and everything else I did myself.
See, that's another golden nugget. See, you newbies out there want to get into the business. This is the great example of got a credit card, stretch it to the limit, as well as he did the sweat equity himself, right? Because you said, I guess, and I don't want to speak for you here, if I get contractor A, he gonna eat all the profits up.
I eat all the profits of, yeah, right. So I learned how people laugh at me now. I say, man, I can hang drywall, I can mud walls, I can install a toilet, I can install
Mm.
a sink,
Mm.
cabinets, countertops.
Mm.
But once you get to a certain point in the business, your value isn't doing the work anymore. Your value is
Mm.
going to get the properties, getting the next deal, and
Mm.
you got to pay a plumber to be a plumber, electrician to be an electrician, and let them do what they do. And my specialty is getting the properties and putting the money, and that's my budget.
Mm.
Before I buy a property, I work backwards. I work from the
Mm.
maximum number backwards to my profit. So I
Okay.
know how much money I'm going to make before I buy the property.
Okay, so it's all about the numbers. End of the day.
Oh, it's all about the
It's all
numbers.
about the numbers.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
It
all
has to
about
make sense.
and it sounds crazy to some people. Once you do the work and the sweat equity and you're out there really hustling,
Hmm.
doing the houses, we have a rule of thumb. We're trying to make 20 to 25,000 per flip.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
not worth my time.
So that's the standard all across the
Across the
board.
board.
Got you. And I'm just curious, if you've seen something, 15,000, is it automatically no, or make it a rental, or what would you do with it?
Do with it.
It all depends on how much time I got to put in. Now, if it's a
Okay.
quick flip, I can go and paint, put carpet,
Mm.
and put it back on the market, and it's 15.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good. I'm only putting $2, $3, $4,000 in it. But if I got to do a flip 20, 30,000 out of my pocket plus purchase, I'm gonna make 10, 15 grand. It's not really worth it then. And a lot of times we take the money and we end up doing a 1031 tax exchange, so we don't have to pay taxes and
See,
roll it
see,
into the next
see,
property.
see, 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 see again. I got to stop you again. Another good. See, this is a knowledgeable brother we got on. He told us the 1031 exchange. Now that's a whole nother topic. We could dive in deep. If you could just touch on it just briefly, so this way audience member can understand what a 1031 exchange means.
Well, I'll sum it up in a nutshell that The profit you make off of the property, as long as you turn around and put it in a 1031 exchange and hold it there, you can use that money to purchase the next property and you don't have to pay taxes on the money. As long as you keep using it in like kind properties, then you don't have to pay taxes at that time. You can keep rolling it over.
See that, Uncle Sam out of here. You ain't got nothing to do with this right here. Golden Nugget. Question I want to ask you here, Greg. You had your real estate license then, at the time you did flipping.
1993.
Okay, so when you did the flip and you had your real estate license, did you see by having a license was a plus or it really didn't matter?
You know that it really matters because that's the money I get to save. So you do $100,000 home, that's another $3,000 that goes into my budget. When I get ready to buy properties, if I have to buy it and it's on the market, that's $3,000 I get to save and put back in my pocket at the same time. So I look at it as an advantage. I do have friends that don't want license and don't have
Correct.
no desire, but I decided to get my license because I make so much money doing other things with my license besides just flipping. You know, with the REO, foreclosures, being a realtor in general, it's worth it to me.
So let me clarify. When you say the $3,000, you mean if there's a property that you saw on the local MLS, you have that ability to purchase it yourself and get the commission off of it.
And keep your commission, right?
And keep the commission off. So you can't go wrong with having a license. You don't have to, but you can't go wrong with it.
Exactly. You don't have to, but you can't go wrong with them. I think it's a very handy tool to have.
And actually, I shared on one of the episodes how when a person do not use a professional or don't have the insight, they went and brought a property, didn't have the home inspection done, closed on it. Next thing they got a roof problem. If they had that professional, they probably wouldn't have been going through that.
Yeah. Or that professional, someone that actually does flips. I mean, we buy every property worst case scenario and work backwards because no one ever gets mad making more money than what they thought they would make. Everybody get mad making less money than what they thought they would make.
Exactly, exactly. So would you say by being an investor flipper, was it easy during that process? When you first got the property, putting on the market, closing it.
It wasn't necessarily easy because again, I did the sweat equity, had to do other things involved to get the property ready to sell. So it may have took me a little while longer because I had to learn how to do a lot of the things. But again, I grew up in construction. I had a good basis of it. And I had some older guys that did construction work that they was glad to see me doing something like this. They came to help me get started. They was like, yo, young fella, we'll come and help you. We'll show you how to do some things. And at the time I was 22, 23 years old, and they were probably my age that I'm at now, 50. They was in their 50s. They saw someone young, ambitious, and they wanted to help. Just
And
like I do now. I help people, I mentor and help younger guys and ladies all the time.
you hear that? Mentor. But I'm going to peel it back a little bit. The reason why I asked you, was it easy? Because we get, you seem like it's every year, it's the new real estate guy, so to speak. When they sell you a catalog, a book, next you know, you're making $60,000. He told you it wasn't easy. He told you it wasn't easy. Okay. So that's why I had to chop on that. But what I want to do is, I mean, the catalog's so long here, I'm going to kind of speed up a little bit here. So now fast forward, you are in the residential space, real estate owned properties and foreclosure. You are a specialty in your area, selling them properties. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
My company had the HUD contract, the Fannie Mae contract. That during the last recession, 08, 09, it was so abundant, so many houses on the market, as you know, Mike. We
Correct.
had quite a few listings, and the business was actually booming for us.
Boom, exactly. And the reason why I chimed on that is that because that one, the investment piece of it, now you have the REO foreclosure piece of it. You are the go-to guy, have to be, because you got the experience in the area.
Right. And
So,
other investors come to me because not only am I a realtor, but I'm also an investor too. I can't buy it all, nor do I try and buy it all. So they come to me and say, hey, I know you do this for a living. Is this a good deal? Can you give me some advice? Of course, but I still get paid because I get to make the commission on selling them the property to flip. And then when they get it ready to resell, I get to sell it again.
correct,
I get another stream of income just by being a realtor.
The sweet thing about that is that he's knowledgeable, experienced, and can save you a headache, right? You know, because people think all the time, and there's nothing wrong with using a family member, close friend, but make sure they experience. This can save you a
Oh
ton of
yeah.
problems. Right? You agree?
Make sure it's not a hobby for them.
Correct. I like that. See, boy, you giving us. What's my pen at? Go hold these golden nuggets. It's not a hobby. But here's where we go. We're gonna transition it because this is the highlight of the show where I want to touch on where you don't have to do one thing. I think when the man upstairs put you on this earth, you can do a variety of different things. You open up. Tell us about this other avenue of stream of income that you have that you're doing quite well of. I'm gonna let you announce it, bro.
I also own a trucking company.
Ooh.
So right now we got a fleet of dump trucks that we run tractors, dry vans, reefers, sprinter vans at the same time too.
A fleet. So, and not trying to pry too much. How many trucks you got?
Dump truck wise, we have 15.
15 trucks, right? So, do you go across the country? You stay local within the state? Where do you travel at?
No, all the dump truck business is local. We're within a 50-mile radius. So the reason why I like the dump truck business better for me than the tractor trailer driving across country, guys are home every day, ladies are home every day, every night, and it's easier to find drivers. Drivers is the toughest task to
Okay.
find people to drive.
Okay. So now in this dump truck business, again, my knowledge is about a 1 on a scale of 100. I want you to help me out with a lot of this here. Now you're in the business. Is it compared to real estate? Right? Is there some similarities, or is it a completely different world, or what does that look like?
Well, it's still risk reward. It's the same thing. We still had to invest the money. We still had to buy the trucks. But again, this company is a certified minority-owned company. So a lot of people know a lot of the city and state contracts have to have so much minority participation.
Gotcha.
So that was my target. I went after all the public work. I didn't try and do any of the private work because I knew every contract that comes out, which the state spend millions and billions of dollars, and so do the city, so does the school system, so does the county. So it's tons of work. We have contracts with the city of Charlotte. We have contracts with the state. If anybody's familiar with the I-77 toll lane project, we were the minority dump truck hauling company out there for the last 3.5 years. It's a lot of work, but again, you have to get out here and make it happen. It's not going to come to you.
I mean, so many golden nuggets in what he just said. Getting out there, making it happen. Do you find, just in your experience with the real estate and with the dump truck business, that people want it easy? It's like I want the whole money fall out the sky, but I'm gonna do that much work.
Everybody wants the reward, but nobody want to put the work in. Everybody sees the end result, but nobody knows the journey.
Nobody knows the journey, exactly. So when you started out in the dump trucking business, was it? I mean, like walk us through that first 6 months to a year. What was that grind?
Well, I tell you what happened. Since I had tractors, I knew had some experience in the trucking business. So working out at the gym, one of the guys at the gym said, "Hey, you ought to meet this guy. He's in the dump truck business. I think you guys get along." We met, we talked. I rode with him a couple of days to see how the dump truck business. I did the math, did the numbers, analyzed everything, went and looked at the minority certifications, looked at the missing pieces that I thought the minority companies was missing. And we dove in and we bought trucks and started winning contracts, and the rest is history. You just keep going. And once they get to know you and you start doing the business, they call on you and depend on you. So one of the biggest things we did, we went and purchased new trucks, where I saw a lot of the guys had older trucks. Reliability of an older truck compared to a new truck is different. And I try and give guys a cost analysis on an older truck compared to a new truck. And that's the biggest thing to try and explain to them. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, Mike. If you have a truck payment of $3,500 a month, not including insurance and fuel, that's a lot to bite off at one time.
You see the golden nuggets he gave us there. He said, analyze the numbers, networking, relationships, and willing to spend just a little bit more to save you a headache later on. I take it.
Yeah, because even when I bid my projects, I send pictures of my trucks. And that helps me win projects. Because when I say I'm a minority-owned company and I have all the certification, the stigma on us and minorities is you don't have the quality equipment. You can't do the job. So when I bid projects, I attach a copy of a picture of a few of the trucks so they can see we have
Okay.
new trucks, as well as I explain to them in the email that the year of our trucks and everything, so they will know we got the new trucks. And once that got going,
Mm-hmm.
and people start finding out we was in the business,
Mm.
people start calling more and more, and business is picking up.
Wow. So, and when you send the pictures in the truck, you just kind of explained it, but I want to dive a little bit more. Does that give the person who's going to do the hiring an ease to say, okay, well, their truck ain't going to break down. I ain't got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, well,
Feel
anything
a
can
little more
break down at any
comfortable.
time, but you
Okay.
have a less
Okay.
likelihood to break down if you're driving a 2019 dump truck compared to a
Exactly.
1985 dump truck. It's just
Okay.
maintenance and the wear and tear on the vehicle is less likely to survive and last longer.
Wow.
And we
See,
run two shifts, so we run a day shift and a night shift. So if
day
you're gonna
shift.
run, yeah, if you run day and night shift with a truck
Okay.
with two
Mm-hmm.
different drivers going in the truck, a new truck can handle being on the road 18 hours a day out of 24 hours a day. It's like
Wow.
anything else. You buy an older car, you're not gonna drive an older car from Charlotte to California. But if you
Correct.
get a new car, you feel more comfortable about driving that long distance because it's a new vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing with the dump truck business.
Okay. Okay. So now I want to segue into because I heard the beginning you said you do mentorship, male or female. Um, that now that you have that trucking business, do you do any kind of like some courses? Say somebody want to say, "Hey, Greg, I would love to be a guide us." Like what does that look like?
Yeah, so I've recently started social media. Everybody kept telling me you need to get on social media because I do two
Mm-hmm.
things that a lot of people want to do, which is trucking and real estate. So I recently
Mm-hmm.
started social media. I'm in the process of building a platform of a course for the real estate part and a course for the trucking part, so I can be able to provide to people that's reaching out to me on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram, wanting to
Mm-hmm.
find out more. How was I able to acquire new trucks? Dump trucks cost 185,000 roughly.
Ooh,
So you're talking about
85. Gotcha.
yeah, 185,000. So it's not a inexpensive business to get in. It
Mm-hmm.
costs. I
Mm-hmm.
always tell
But
everybody to get in this business, you'll have to have some type of reserves money because it's also a net 30 business. So you don't get paid for
mm-hmm.
30. Then you
Mm-hmm.
got insurance, you got fuel, you got drivers. So you
Mm-hmm.
really have to do your cost analysis and look at all the costs it's going to cost you to get going and when you're going to start making money. It may take a minute.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That I mean, I'm just in, actually you got me interested. That's why we'll have a conversation outside of this because I'm always interested in a new endeavor. Um, and we'll have all your social media handles and fall in terms of reaching out to you because I know everything literally because I'm gonna say it now on the show and we'll still have it up there. But everything's literally Gregory Faulcon, and that's Faulcon, correct? Gregory Faulcon. So Greg, listen, here's the thing, brother. And like I said, we want to we're gonna kind of chime things down, wrap it up a little bit, but we want to say thank you. Love to having you on our show, right? And we will chop it up some more with you because you gave us some good insight. We talked about real estate and trucking. Now here's what we do, Greg. Anytime we interview somebody, we always ask for two golden nuggets. Give us two that you would give to any entrepreneur out there that want to get into trucking or get into real estate.
Well, for both of them, really and truly, is what you want to do is you have to have the work ethic and the wherewithal to last. Because everybody want to get in immediately and make money right away. It's not going to happen right away. Nobody gets in a business and make money right away. So I kind of relate this to the nugget. It's like a farmer. You have to plant your seed. You have to cultivate your seed. You have to harvest your seed. Then you have to
Mm,
sell your seed. So it's nothing else. It's a full season. It takes time to make money, but most people we know want it quick, fast, and in a hurry, and it's just not going to happen that way.
mm.
And they give
Wow.
up. They
Give
they
up.
quit. Nobody has the wherewithal to ride it out.
Mm.
So those are
Wow.
basically. I tell everybody, I'm gonna outwork you. You may be smarter than me. You may have a lot of talent more than me, but you're not gonna outwork me.
Yeah, I mean, he just. I mean, actually, I'm just speechless because this is what I kind of emphasize to people I know. Everything he's saying, times 10. I mean, I'm literally in just astounded because I know that that's what it takes. That is the secret ingredient. But Greg, thanks a lot, brother. Like I said, we're gonna have you again. And you know something? We put you in the Hall of Fame. because you are our first interview. Let's go, brother. That's right. You are our first interview in the Hall of Fame, man. And I would say, listen, we're going to talk soon, and I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one, man. Thank you so much for having me.
Now, listen, before you go get the picture. Go get a picture of us.